What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. Match review time, and it's a bad one. It's a bad one today. Sorry if you're expecting any rainbows and sunshine today. There was none for today's game. Everton 3, Leeds United 0. As always, as you're coming in, please smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. But listen, let's just get into it because what I saw today was a horror show. Nothing short of a horror show today. We're setting up the same way again, same team and everything else like that. But you're going to get it right one time. It's not going to work for a few more times with this current setup. That's just the way it is. And go in there without an actual midfielder in there, Mateus Click. But you know what? It's just not. You can't just put it down to one or two players today. On the collective, it was just bad. Rodrigo aside with his couple of shots that hit the bar. There's nothing else to take from it. Nothing else to take from it today. And I just wonder today if the players knew the magnitude of this game today. Because we got a point against Villa, a well-fought point against Villa, granted. But then our next three games are literally Man United, Liverpool, and Spurs. Now, I've seen people say about Man United looking bad. Man United's bad is I don't even know what it is for us. But they can perform the way they're performing now and still beat us, by the way. So don't go thinking just because Man United are slipping up and they're in, seventh place, that we're going to go there and go up against them and be something against them. That team doesn't work like that. They've got quality that will just rip us apart. And I mean, Everton tore us apart, especially in that first half. And I do wonder as well in terms of Bielsa, because I've said on here many times before, Lampard will get his troops up for this game. I said it last week, just before we came into it. And that's why I said that just because Everton had a bad game against Newcastle, it did not mean we was going to win today because we had a decent game against Villa. It doesn't work like that with this Leeds United team this season. It just doesn't. And someone asked me earlier, are we going to get 3 points today? I said, it depends what Leeds turn up, because we don't know what we're going to get from this team. And I just wonder if Bielsa actually figures that Lampard really wants it against him. How Everton played today, they have not played like that all season long. They just haven't. They were full of energy. They were full of hunger. Getting the second ball. They were all over us. Tactically, they were so much better than us today. Lampard wants it against Bielsa. And although Spygate and everything is in the back rear view mirror, people like Lampard, the personality he is. He doesn't let go of stuff like that. He's going to always want it. And I just think Bielsa just doesn't take that into account. I really don't. And there's a few other things. I mean, how many times this season have we talked about substitutions, tactics this season? It's been an ongoing thing, which is why we are where we are. Plenty of you in the chat here giving your opinions, and we're going to go through it, people. We really are. But I need you to get the full picture of this Everton team. And I didn't get to do a preview this week. I was going to come on Thursday and do one with an Everton fan, but my voice just couldn't take it. But Everton, literally since the 2nd of October, have won one game up until today. One game, and that was against Arsenal. A game where, again, Arsenal should have won, but Everton got the win. Up until then, though, it's been more losses, a couple of draws, but it's been mostly Reds in that time. And then just like Newcastle, when they played us at Ellen Road, Everton today, here comes Leeds just to give you a little boost to your score, to your point totals in the league. That's what we do. That's what we do. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm going to go through them as well, but I want to get some of my notes from the game out of the way. But Bobby here saying Coleman scoring against us in 2022. Bielsa got it all wrong today, and the lack of ambition from the club by not bringing in players showed a lot today. Some of the players simply aren't good enough. Listen, I've been saying that. I've been saying that all along. But you know when you're realistic on here, it doesn't get much traction. You have to be like a passion merchant to get traction, because that's what many football fans are like. Realism and telling you how it is not welcome. It's not welcome on here. But that's what you're going to get from me as always. So listen. Anthony Gordon. I mean, listen, Anthony Gordon. We made him. He's been good as well. By the way, I want to give Anthony Gordon props. He's been very good, especially over the last couple of months at Everton. He's improved his game a lot. But we made him look like Messi today. We made him look like he could have been Lionel Messi reborn. And after a minute, he could have scored a goal. We were getting carved open so many times in that first half. It was ridiculous. And the amount of tactical changes we made at the back were, I lost count. I lost count. And if I lost count, then the players must have been confused too. And I mean, I saw a note someone saying about Dallas, things went off when Dallas went off. No, things were bad when Dallas was on the pitch. That just added to it by having to shuffle the deck yet again once Dallas went off injured. So for me, it didn't really make that much difference. And Everton, just the energy, the crowd, you could hear the crowd, they were up for it. They sensed that this was the game where they could get 3 points from and get themselves away from that bottom three. They sensed it. They said that they needed to get the 3 points, and they did it today. We, on the other hand, we didn't have anything. As someone mentioned there, Coleman with a goal, and it was, how easy was it, man? We were carved open. Gordon to Van der Beek, who we'll get onto in a bit as well. And then it comes off DCL and Coleman bundles it in. And it's like, Coleman, that's his first goal since 2019. But that's what we do. Last season it was Almiron for Newcastle. We give players like that a little boost in their game. It's honestly just, it blows my mind. It really does blow my mind. And I noted down at 15 minutes, Everton are pulverizing us, and it's true. They were absolutely taking us to the cleaners. It was like a heavyweight versus a lightweight. It was bad. And then they get their set piece goal, Anthony Gordon corner, Michael Keane header, simple as. He just rose above Pascal and got it. Simple as that. What can we say? We've seen that many times before. Nothing new. Daniel James, much like when I mentioned on the last match review versus Villa, where I thought Ayling could have taken out Coutinho, Daniel James took someone out. I can't even remember who he took out, but he got a tactical yellow on 29 minutes. And that's what you have to see. He's a smart guy. He knew what was going to come if he didn't take that guy out. So shout out DJ for that. Rodrigo hits the bar 45 minutes. But listen, we were just dominated. We were dominated. There was no ball retention. We were slow. We made Iwobi look like he was Iron Robin today. And just the whole influence of Gordon and VDB, Van der Beek in there was plain to see as well. When you actually have midfield runners in there, players that know their positions, players that are up to it in 2022, it shows. And then comes the second half. And trust me, I'm going to get into your comments in a bit, guys. You know how we do this. But here we go. We get Forshaw coming on. Argument he should have started. But he comes on for Mateusz Klich. And that's fair because, once again, Mateusz Klich is a ghost. The ghost of Klich was back again in full effect today, just doing nothing. He stuck up at the attacking end when we was doing nothing up there anyway, and leaving a huge gap in midfield. So you get Forshaw come on for Klich, fine. And then you get Rafinha come off for Tyler Roberts. Now, I understand. Tyler Roberts, Rafinha hasn't been good in the last game and a half. He hasn't been good. But what I will say for Rafinha is he still gives you those moments out of nowhere, just out of nowhere, where he can put on a pass, take a shot that can just change a game. He can give you that. That's what a guy of Rafinha's class can do. And granted, if Bielsa feels it wasn't working with Rafinha, even though you could have taken off Harrison, you could have taken off a number of players at that stage. But if you're going to take off Rafinha, okay, let's not hammer him for that. But why is it Tyler Roberts next? And again, I'm not even going to go in on Tyler Roberts. Forget about it. It's old news. Once again, this is on the decisions that the manager's making. What Joe Gilhart, I mean, again, football sometimes is a simple story. It is. It's a simple story in an easy game. Now, I'm not saying that Joe Gilhart would have come on and scored a hat trick and we would have won the game. But what I'm saying is Gilhart would have given us more of a potent threat up front. He's a guy from Liverpool. He'll want to impress. He knows that he's got limited opportunities to impress with this current manager. So why not give him a run out? But no, it's Tyler Roberts yet again. And you can't keep on, we cannot keep on hammering Tyler Roberts for this because it goes past Tyler Roberts now. We know what Tyler Roberts is going to give us. We know what he's going to give us now, which is close to nothing. Gelhardt, yet again, unused sub. And my thing now is if Gelhardt isn't going to get minutes in this first team, why can he not get no games for the under 23s? This guy is just literally sitting there doing nothing. Yeah. He's literally sitting there doing nothing while Tyler Roberts is getting on ahead of him. You can't keep blaming Tyler Roberts for this. This is on the coach. And this is not the first time this season we've had these discussions amongst us about the tactics made of Bielsa, the substitutions made. It is becoming, it's not even funny anymore. It's not even a joke no more. It's concerning to me because of all the good coaching that he's given, his stubbornness is absolutely killing us. And you know what? The stubbornness continues when you talk about the transfer window. And I hate to harp back onto the transfer window, but we saw today Donny van der Beek, who was available on loan. Allegedly, we could have put in an offer for him. Whether he would have come or not, I don't know. But apparently now it's cool. Our midfield's fine. We got Matthias Klick. We're good. But you see, when I say stuff like this on here, you get people that are sensible and can see where I'm coming from. But some people just say, how can you question Bielsa? How can you question the board when they've given us what we've given us so far? And I get it to a certain point. But sometimes when it's plain as day in your face and you can just see you need a boost, you need a boost from a new quality player that you can get on loan. When I said Ainsley Maitland-Niles coming at right back and move Ayling to the bench, which is needed. You get looked at like you're a madman because we're supposed to just carry on. We carry on with these championship players until they're ready to go, until they're ready to leave. You cannot be this naive, loyal, and sentimental in football. It doesn't work. It does not work. You have to move on. And I've said it on here before, and I'll say it again. If Bielsa is to stay in the summer, I'm terrified of some of these players still being here in the starting lineup next season. I'm terrified of it because we know how loyal he is to players. We know. And if he's here and we're seeing Matthias Klick starting, we're seeing Tyler Roberts still here, we're going to be in a whole world of trouble next season if we stay up. The second half, though, you know, we can just move on from the second half. There wasn't much to it. There was no way Everton were going to keep up with the press that they had in the first half of 90 minutes. But what they did, they just settled things down, controlled the ball. They just had it under control. They didn't have to do anything. Forshaw gave us more balance in the midfield, which is, lo and behold, what a central midfielder gives you in the central midfield. Crazy, I know. Dan James, I think, you know what, I did find it funny. I mean, Dan James could have got a second yellow when he ran into Pickford because he was not looking at the ball. It felt like Dan James had that Roy Keane moment, you know, Roy Keane just smashing into someone, you know, just to make him feel better. You know what I mean? He had that kind of moment where nothing was going for him. Nothing was happening, so he just smashed into Pickford. There you go. We have another incident, yeah, where bottles are thrown at Coleman. And I'm tired of talking about this kind of stuff. I really am, but the away fans in general that are going to the games, you just need to be careful because once they start handing out fines and reducing allocations, you guys will be the first ones to moan that you can't get a ticket for the games that you want to go to. So you need to pack that shit in. You got to stop it. You have to stop that stuff. But you can't talk to everybody. So cool. Then the third goal, let's just wrap this up. The third goal, Richarlison had all the time and space in the world on the edge of the box. He was dribbling into just free space. His shot gets deflected off Anthony Gordon. 3-0, game over. And there was one save from Melier from Rondon's volley from Ali Pass. Good save, but it was all done by then. And to close, we had 0 shots on target. Rodrigo hit the bar twice, cool, but we had no shots on target against this Everton team. that's won one game up until today since the beginning of October. So there you go. We're gonna get into your comments now. Lee Waters with a super chat. Thank you so much, Lee. We're going to get absolutely battered by Man U and Liverpool, maybe even Spurs. I don't have much to say today on the game. Just here for the therapy. Well, listen, we'll try and get through it together. But if any of you guys can give me any plus points, I'm always going to put them up. This is not an echo chamber, but for me, I just don't see where the positives come from today. I just don't see it. Paul Gray, naive from the club this season. The board not strengthening 2 windows. Bielsa persisting with his favourites, even though they're not good enough, and players need to look at themselves. Shambolic. Yeah, I can just see it as well. I think I'm pretty good at reading body language. Right? I can see a couple of these players know they're lucky to be at Leeds United in the Prem. I can see it. I can definitely see it. Mr. P, thank you for your therapeutic session. I'm just trying to get it. I'm just trying to get through it like you guys, man, because today was horrible. That was a horrible performance. And I saw someone say it was as bad as Southampton. I would say no, because at least in this one, we actually did touch the bar at some point. I know it's not a shot on target, but I think we did a little bit more than we did in that Southampton game. That was absolutely woeful. Ariana saying blind loyalty is dangerous. It is. PSF plus point. We know our championship players need to go. Yeah. Slow, steady Steve. The fans are our positive news. Not when they're throwing bottles, though, man. You can't do that. As soon as the FA hand out the ban, everyone's going, oh, the FA are against us and everything else like that. Come on, cut it out, man. Nathan Wright saying, this has to be a more frustrating loss than Southampton. I can't stand seeing the 3-1, 3-3 without midfield. Tom Gatlin, only if we had an opportunity to bring quality in. That's what I'm saying. I mean, just going back onto Van der Beek today, we heard so much about him being not ready. He's hardly played. He won't be ready. He won't be Bielsa ready. Whatever that means, because apparently Tyler Roberts is Bielsa ready. But what are we seeing from that? Huh? What are we seeing from him? But Van der Beek today came in and showed exactly what you need in a current midfield player. You got energy. You got quality on the ball. Let me say that one more time. Quality on the ball. And yes, slow, steady see. I'm not saying that all fans are bad. I never said that. But I'm saying you just got to cut that stuff out. We're already got a couple of charges impending from previous things at Ellen Road. So just try and keep your nose clean. That's all I'm saying. But Van der Beek today, what I'm saying is the quality on the ball. That means not only just moving around with no purpose like a few of our players do. I mean, when they get the ball, they're effective with it. And he was tremendous today. Tired out in the second half because that's to be expected from someone that hasn't played football a lot. But you give him that opportunity to play. And he did that today from the start. And you could see it coming. You could see it coming. Listen. Mr. P with a super chat. Thank you for your support, man. Time for a clear out. Do we have the funds for 20 new signings? Complete upheaval required, and part of Bielsa's contract needs to be a larger squad. And Mr. P, this is what I've been saying, and this is why I've said about the last 2 windows being failures, in that we haven't done anything. We didn't get any players in, but more to the point, we didn't move any players out. So thus, it's just making the job so much harder than it needs to be from the next window onwards. If anyone is going to go, that's it. But and on Joe Gilhart as well, and it goes to the point about Drame and Somerville all wanting to go for the search for first team football. And granted, those two are on the level of Gilhart, so don't get this out of context. But if Gilhart was to go in the summer and say, listen, I'm not getting no minutes here. I should be getting minutes, especially when there's our main striker out. I want to go. Would anyone realistically blame him for going? And I just know as well that he's going to kill it at whichever club he'd go to next. How only we would not get have a quality youngster like Gilhart ready to go and not play him. Geronimo is saying, do you think Rafa's head has already been turned? I can imagine Rafinha being disillusioned. Of course he can. I could definitely see him being disillusioned. Why wouldn't he be? Yes, he hasn't been amazing in the past game and a half, but is there a knock-on effect from the window? Was he expecting a couple of players to come in and just make the squad a bit better? We don't know, do we? We don't know any of these things. But for me, Rafinha is a top level player. And just because he's had a game and a half of not doing very much, that doesn't change the fact that he is our game changer. And we'll be looking for this squad to improve. Otherwise, he's going, man, in the summer. As I've said to you before, and here, Leeds fans, I will say to you, I do think he's going to leave in the summer. But when rival fans say it to me, I say, nah, I think he might stay. But I just can't see him staying at a club that is due to finish in the bottom half of the Premier League. Again, I just can't see it. Bandy saying survival seems to be the theme this season. If we do survive, what will the board do next season? I don't know. Nathan Palmer, I'm disappointed. We look absolutely awful. That's the feeling I've got, Nathan. And I can't put it any clearer than I've put it already. It was just awful today. The first half was so embarrassing. And unfortunately, because there's very few games on at 3, I had a few of my people tune into the game and see us at our absolute worst today. We were terrible. Christy saying board should have made moves so we never see the championship again. All it took for me, all it would have taken was a couple, just 2. Give us 2 players just to freshen this squad up. But as I've said before on here, cannot break up the happy family. Can't do it. All family. Click. I'm not going anywhere. Marvelous. Crazy. Woodsy, any other club would have been putting Gelhardt in their side weeks ago. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. That's why, and I want to repeat this because just for the people that are coming in now, that's why I can't hammer Tyler Roberts for today. We got what we usually get from Tyler Roberts today. It's not on him. It's just not. It's on Bielsa and his decisions. And this has happened too many times this season, which is why I do believe that he will not be here come the summer. I genuinely think that he probably thinks he's taken us as far as he can, and that it needs a new, fresh pair of eyes. I do believe that. So, I don't want to think about the summer yet. We need to get through these next few games. It's going to be insane. It's going to be absolutely insane. John Paul Smith, hit the like for KG. Yeah, please, if you're in here, just quickly hit the like button. There's over 450 people in here. That's amazing numbers. Thank you so much. But please smack the like on the video. Please do that. John Brotherton, agree totally on Gelhardt KG. It's shocking as the manager. Tyler ran around like on the playground. We know what's coming when he comes on. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Just like when Dramo wanted to leave, just like Somerville when he wanted to leave in search of first team football, as he should, as an under 23 player who's too good for the under 23s, but not quite Premier League. When are we going to stop hammering Tyler Roberts for getting on the pitch? Sometimes you just have to move away and say, nah, it's not on Roberts. It's on the manager for keep on selecting him. Paul Williams, we need a bigger squad if Bielsa stays. If Bielsa says he walks, let him walk. The club is more important. Listen, Paul, I've said all along, and no one can ever accuse me of being a flip-flop, which is great because I'm quite consistent unless someone changes my mind. But the club is always number one. Leeds United comes first. It's all about the club. All these players that people are just so loyal to because they've got us up from the champ and Bielsa and everything else. These guys are all going to be gone. Meanwhile, our club will still be here. Now, do we want them to be in the Prem or do we want us to be teetering on the edge of relegation from the Prem? I know which one I would prefer. And we need fresh bodies in there. Luke Ayling, again, another just nothing performance. That's why I said, please, get Ainsley Maitland-Niles in on loan, who is a level above Luke Ayling at right back. move Luke Ayling to the bench, giving our bench more depth. But they're not doing it, man. They just don't want to mess around with this team. It's insane to me. It's actually insane. But I said this in my transfer window video, but Gil Saville, it's okay if Bielsa wants to play the same way, but you can criticize his decision making and tactics and play selection. Gil, absolutely. Listen, the system would work if you got better quality players. And I've made this comparison before, but it would just be like Liverpool playing the way that they play, but without players that are as good as them. They would get opened up and battered nearly every week if their team wasn't as good as it is. And that's the same with us. You can play this style, you can play this system, but you've got to have better players in there, which currently we just don't. That's why, for me, whether we're staying up or not, it's going to be ugly from here till the end of the season. I've said this months ago. Like, this season just hasn't been fun overall. But yeah, freaking hell. SA scouts are always coming in with the Minamino stuff. Roberts or Minamino? Well, listen, that's an easy question, isn't it? It's Minamino over Roberts, but Roberts shouldn't even be in this team, so that's a non-question for me. John Cunningham, I'm just going to go through some more of your thoughts. I think I've given mine. Let's have a look. John Cunningham, if I were Gilhart and Bate, I would be off. If they can't get in front of Robertson, click when will they ever get a chance? Never. Exactly. But you got people that will say they should be patient and wait their turn, and what study Mateus Click. All right then. Okay, let's do that. But I'm with you, John. If Gilhart and Bate decide that they want to move on in the summer, who can blame them? Somebody is saying, let me just get this. Torchman, shout out to you, man. KG, we will stay up, but may well finish 17th, which really is a disgrace, especially after last season. Yeah, obviously the Bielsa's post-match comments are coming on. Bielsa, Rick Kerr saying Bielsa said taking Rafa off and putting on Roberts was a tactical change. Well, there you go. And is that on Tyler? It's not on Tyler, is it? But I guarantee a lot of the vitriol and criticism will go to Tyler Roberts, even though you know what you're getting from him. But Paul the leg, Paul the leg. What is that ledge? Like Gordon waits for his turn. Yeah, Anthony Gordon's taking his shots in the Everton team, and he's become like a regular in the first team. Jacob Ramsey for Aston Villa. I mean, these are players that are obviously clearly on that next level above. But we haven't had the chance to see if Lewis Bate can be on that level above because he doesn't get played. And when he does get played, he gets subbed off at half time or he gets subbed on and subbed off. Weak substitutions. I said it at the time, they're cowardly substitutions. They're the substitutions that Ollie made for Man United when he'd always take off Mason Greenwood instead of one of the established players. It's just easy substitutions to make. Let's have a look. Yeah, Mark Baker, Harrison was worse than Raf. He was. That's what I mean. You could have taken off anyone. John Paul Smith for the super chat. Thank you so much, Matt. Sorry to say, but bye-bye Bielsa in the summer. Fair enough. And I mean, listen, just to not sound like I'm sitting on the fence with that one, let me just go back to it. I've said on here before, John Paul, if there was a chance that Bielsa could adapt, and that means adapt by not playing Liam Cooper as soon as he's back fit over Strike. That means moving out Mateus Click. It means doing stuff like that. If he can adapt, then I'd be happy for him to stay. But I think the proof's in the pudding that he's not willing to adapt with the players. I just don't see it. Summer's going to be very interesting from both a managerial point of view and also a playing squad point of view. It's going to be very interesting. But listen, we've got games to get through, man, and the next three are absolutely brutal. So let's just concentrate on what's going on right now. Let's just concentrate on that. and we've got Manchester United next. Sam S, if we can get another serious manager, I'd get Bielsa out. Optimistic, but Pochettino, and I'd drive him back to Argentina. Wow, Pochettino. Oof. I don't know. I mean, my one would. I've got a name, but I don't want to say it on here just for it to get ripped off by everyone else. So I'm going to keep that to myself. But yeah, yeah. Econ with a brilliant point here. People need to remember the anger you feel now, because as soon as we win something, all this emotion is out the window until we lose again. It's a stupid cycle, and it is. That's what it's been. We've won 5 games all season, so that shows you just how often our wins have come. But it is, as soon as we get a positive result, everyone just forgets and thinks we're going to be all okay. But I've always said that I don't think we're going to get relegated. But if we do stay up, it's not going to be pretty. Like, some people think we're going to finish 11th, 12th. Get that out of your head. We're not good enough. The squad isn't good enough, and the team that Bielsa picks is not good enough to do that. Once again, people, no shots on target today versus Everton. Everton that have won 2 games now since October, the beginning of October. Please, we lost 1-0 against Newcastle at home. We're in a battle. Ah, Tom, you got my guy. Wait there. I may have said this before. Tom, have I said this before? I'd love Gasparini from Atalanta. That's my guy. I would love Gasparini from Atalanta if we have to change coach. Uh, that is my man. And I think that if they didn't get in Champions League, the lure of the Premier League, I think it's possible, but all depends on how ambitious you want to be. But yeah, Gasparini, that's my coach as well, man. Snoop Huggy White, take it off a terrible Rafinha and replace him with Roberts is a work of a madman. That said, the midfield passengers cost us today. The gaps just there again. Drive a truck through our midfield yet again. Constant theme, but that's what we've got again. That's what you get when you're rejecting players like Van der Beek and going with Mateus Click for the rest of the season. That's what you get. That's not our fault. That's not my fault for saying it here. If you don't like it, that's on the club in the January transfer window. Darren Wong, it's just sad Bielsa keeps persisting with Roberts. He's turning the fans against him. Yeah, and I tell you something, and I said it to someone before, but I remember before Gelhardt got his injury, he was asked about Gelhardt and the reaction he gets from the crowd when he's getting ready to come on a sub, and Bielsa made the point of, yeah, it's brilliant to hear, and it just gives him so much confidence and everything else like that. But he doesn't use him. It's almost like the Jurgen Klopp thing with Origi saying, "Yeah, I wish somebody else would buy Origi because they would play him more than I do, more than he deserves." It's like, well, if you really believe that, then you play him. You know, it's a weird thing for me. It's a weird thing. Woodsy saying you can't blame the fans for being frustrated about Roberts when we always look worse when he's on the pitch. I don't blame the fans, Woodsy. I really don't. But what I'm saying is, we know what we're getting. But and Roberts has been the same consistently, really, hasn't he? Apart from that little 3 game stretch he had in December where he looked half a decent player, we know what we're getting. So if you're going to keep on getting frustrated at him, surely you have to be frustrated with the person that keeps on bringing him on. I don't know. Uh, yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not saying that. Once again, as you always have to make clear, I'm forever grateful for Bielsa for getting us back up to the Premier League. I really am, and I do believe that he made a big change. He revived this dead club. Remember, we were dead for years. We were just middling in the Championship for years. Just our season's over by January usually, and he's got us up to the Prem. But I don't want to see all that hard work undone, and then we go back into the champ, because it won't be easy. If we ever get relegated, first of all, I don't even want to think of that. But if we do, we're not coming straight back up. We're just not. So I don't want it to sound like I'm ungrateful for what Bielsa's done, but you have to adapt and get with what's going on right now. And I just don't feel that that's happening. I just don't. Um, let's have a look. Sam S, do you sell one or two of our big boys and rebuild the side with a new manager? No, you want to keep those two. I know the two you talk about in Phillips and Rafinha, but no, you would want to talk to those guys come the summer and say, listen, guys, we're gonna move. It's gonna be tough. I know that you're very friendly with these guys, but we're gonna move out so and so, so and so, so and so, and we're gonna bring in a few new players to hopefully get match your ambitions. We want to do that instead of saying, "Oh yeah, we'll sell Rafinha for however much, Calvin Phillips, and then start again from there." I would much rather attempt to keep those and build around them. That would be my thing. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Um, let's have a look. Yeah, Brent saying 100% we will not come straight back up. Now we just don't have it in us. We don't. We've kind of proven that with our 16 years out of the Premier League. In all fairness. Um, let's have a look. Just gonna try and go back and see. Yeah, SA Scouts, a Liverpool fan, saying Harvey Elliott either gets games for us. It's not about age; it's about the coach. Exactly. The age has got nothing to do with it. I don't know how many times I've had to say it on here. Your age is irrelevant. If you're good enough, you play. It's as simple as that. By some of the reckoning, they would never have seen Jonathan Woodgate or Harry Kewell hit the pitch because they would have been too young. It's crazy to me that kind of thing of being too young to play. Yeah, you don't want to burn them out, but then that's how you rotate them. But right now, Gelhardt isn't getting any minutes at all. None. Listen, we've been going for 37 minutes, and I don't know. Just get a few more of your comments in just before we wrap this stream up, man. So disappointing. So disappointing. Uh, Bren is saying again, Bamford and Phillips will not have the impact you expect when they return to a struggling side under pressure. Now, we will definitely be better with Calvin Phillips in the team. Once again, I've said it so many times as well, but Calvin Phillips is one of those players where when he's not in the team, you notice what he actually does. Right now, we're going into these games like today, and I say it, we're going from defense up into the wingers, and then it comes back to us because we've got no one collecting the ball from defenders right now. Nobody. Up until Forshaw, when he came on, we had nobody collecting the ball from the centre backs. So the ball is going out to our very small wingers in general, in James and Harrison, and then nothing's going on up front with obviously Tyler Roberts being on the pitch in the second half. But there was no one collecting the ball like Calvin does and just gives it a new dimension. And that's what we were missing. That's what someone like Van der Beek could have given us in the January window. But hey, Athena saying a huge overhaul in the summer is looking more and more appetizing. Not going to lie, it is for me, Athena, and this is it for me. I don't want to start disliking some of these promoted players that we had. I don't. I really don't. But somebody give me that Dark Knight quote. Somebody give me that Dark Knight quote. If you live long enough to be you turn into the villain. Give me that quote. Someone give me that. But that's what's going to happen. You're going to start to look at these players and go, oh, God's sake, not this guy again. That's how I currently feel about a few of them, in all fairness. But I don't hate any of them. I just know that they're not good enough to play Premier League football week in, week out. Lewis saying Phillips plays so calm. Yeah, and he gives us an extra pressing bite in the midfield too, Lewis. He just gives us that extra dimension. He just suffers from a few injuries, though, in all fairness. Shelley Johnson, thanks for the post-mortem and therapy, KJ. I feel slightly better that we're all going through this together. That's it, man. That's why you'll always see me come on after games. We just got to go through it together. Here we are, Econ. Econ, there it is. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Exactly. There you go. Thank you so much, Econ. That's what it is with a few of these players and currently the coach. It's just becoming so infuriating, the tactical decisions that he's making. And also you have as well Dallas going off in the first 10 minutes. He can't help it. He's injured. Hopefully he'll be okay. But then the double sub at halftime, that's it. That's it. That's it then. We got no scope to do anything else for the rest of the game. And you would say that they're the wrong subs, but we've been through this before. Mr. P, do you quote this? Yeah, this is me. No more runners, no more hard workers. I said that. Want quality on the ball. We didn't get anything done. So there goes that quote, eh? There goes that quote. No more runners, no more hard workers. Hey, we didn't get anything done. So there we go. Tiny Massive. We need to cry out for Gerhardt as fans. Can't believe we didn't use him today. Should have started it. Yeah. That's it. That's it. But what can we do? What can we do? I mean, there's a few people saying this, so I'm going to just flag this one up. Paul O'Connor, Rafinha looks like he's not interested anymore. And I said this as well in January. Sometimes you can't blame certain players if things aren't going the way they expected it to go, or maybe they were promised certain things about the current team going forward and it hasn't happened. Sometimes that will happen. I think most people can probably relate to being in a job where think you've been promised something, it doesn't happen, then all of a sudden for the next couple of weeks you're just going through the motions. Maybe that's it with Rafinha. He's just come back from Brazil where he's playing with Anthony, Neymar, and all these guys, and he's having to play with what he's playing with now. But Mark Baker, just don't get it. Thousands of fans can see the problems. Why can't management? I don't know, but there are some people that will not question Bielsa's tactics or anything else like that. Fair play. They will not be watching this channel. I guarantee that. They'll be watching some other channels that are more passion merchanty than I am. But there are people that will just generally roll with what Bielsa's doing and not question anything, which to me means you probably support Bielsa more than you do Leeds United, which is crazy to me. Nothing comes above your football club. Nobody. Yeah, Snoop Huggy White. Agree with everyone's comments, but can you blame Rafinha in all honesty? He was sold a dream and he was delivered Roberts. Come on now. Come on. What can you say? Listen, have I gone long enough? 42 minutes, man. This has been a tough one. And I hope everyone's feeling a little bit better after, but I don't know. I don't know. Torchman saying, if Gerhardt can't get a sniff when Bamford is out for most of the season, then what chance does he have if he gets back? So much for Kinnear's path into the side. He's more like Roy Kinnear. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just been mixed from everything, hasn't it? From the team's performances to the board's words this season. I mean, it's just been it's been a mess this season. It has, in all fairness. But listen, let's close this off. Let's close this off. Yeah, I mean, Ian saying, sadly, not even you can make me feel better this time, not after that performance. I feel you. I'm not going to feel good about this one. The Newcastle one sat with me because I think we had such a long break after, but this one just sucks. Like we're making these, because we are one of the poor teams, don't get me wrong, but we're making poor teams just look amazing against us, and it's terrible. It's awful. I just don't see the positive. But like I say, listen, I'm gonna end the video here because yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Mark Jones saying, sorry, KG, we needed reinforcements, gonna bite our arse. Yeah. Yeah, Chrissy, the therapy didn't work. Yeah, this is a fail therapy session. Not gonna lie. This one hasn't been good. This one has not been good, but we go again next week, don't we? And who have we got? Oh, Manchester United. That should be fun. Well, I will be back in the week, hopefully with a preview with a special guest. So we'll talk about that. Man United aren't doing well, but they're not doing well is way different to our not doing well, isn't it? It's different levels, but yeah. So I mean, I will be back next week with a preview. Please join me for that. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Press the bell on it just so you know when I'm going to go live. And yeah, and like the video. Please do that for me as well. There's been quite a lot of people in the chat today. Please press the like on the video. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. Nick Horton, it all helps, KJ. I hope it helps somebody. But yeah, let's move on. Let's end it there. Thanks for going through this with me today, people. Support on the channel's been tremendous as well over the last couple of months, especially. So just thank you to everyone. And I will see you at some point next week with a Manchester United preview. Peace out, people.